Some families and doctors are now suing the state of Alabama after the governor signed a bill criminalizing transgender health care for minors. Last week, Alabama became the third state in the nation to pass a measure restricting gender-affirming care for transgender and non-binary youth, but it's the first state to actually impose criminal penalties. The law would make providing that care a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison, and unless it's blocked by the courts, it's set to go into effect on May 8th. NBC News correspondent Yamiche Alcindor joins us now from the Alabama State Capitol in Montgomery. Good morning. So let's start with the care itself. I know you've talked to some transgender teens. I've spoken with many over the years who talk about how important this gender-affirming care is. What is it they told you?
Well, as you said, Alabama has adopted the most restrictive law in the nation, making it a felony to provide gender-affirming care to transgender young people. And the families that I talked to here in Alabama say that it would be detrimental to young transgender Americans who are seeking to just be who they say they are. I talked to one young lady in particular, Harley Walker. She's 15 years old. She said that this care was what got her through the hardest times of her life. Take a listen.
Just being able to be who I am, really kind of saved me. And I was going through such hard mental health at that time. And if I would have continued going on that path, I would have gotten severe depression and even maybe had thoughts about suicide. And because I was not happy. I was not who I was. And so it saved my life pretty much, and it saved my mental health, and it has benefited me in so many ways now.
And what you see there is really what she's saying is echoed by so many other young people who say that this care that they're getting really is what is the difference between them going into severe mental health crises. Now, Harley herself, she is on puberty blockers. I talked to other young people who are going through things similarly, and they tell me that this care is needed and that this care can't be taken away. Harley also said that she would have to move out of the state of Alabama, leaving her brother behind, who is in the National Guard here. So this is a care that she says will have to literally change her life and upend her.
That's a decision so many families are faced with, considering whether they need to move to another state. Yamiche, as we mentioned, the law bans gender-affirming care for people under 19. Anything else about this law we should know about what it does?
This law also restricts the bathrooms that students can use. The law says that they have to use the bathroom that aligns with the gender that they were assigned at birth. It also compels school officials to tell parents if a child says that they are transgender or having those sorts of issues and realizations. This law also tells parents that they have to essentially not give their child the care that they need. So this is really a law that also, I should say, limits the way that you can talk about gender orientation, sexual orientation in school. So a version, opponents say, of the Don't Say Gay bill. I also talked to a young teen, Kay, who was too scared to go on camera, and he told me that this law really is about punishing children that are already vulnerable. Take a listen to that.
It implies that making commonly suicidal children feel better about themselves, it implies that doing that is inherently immoral or predatory or abusive, and it's not. It isn't. It's ridiculous, and it's hateful, and it makes children feel like villains for living.
Now, there are already 2 lawsuits being filed seeking to stop this law that is supposed to go into effect on May 8th. And there is also a lot of talk about whether or not there could be some other legal actions going forward. We'll have to continue to talk to these families and continue to talk to the legal experts. I will say supporters of this bill say that they're trying to protect children. The governor said that this was essentially God telling her that children who were born the way that they are, whatever gender that they were born, that they should stay that way. But opponents of this law say that is offensive language and that it needs to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else we should know? There's obviously lots of criticism. The politicians behind this law, Governor Kay Ivey, how are they responding to all the criticism?
They are saying that this is the right thing to do for children, that they are protecting these transgender children, and that they need to be older before they make these decisions to get the kind of care that they need to be who they are. But again, when it comes to the people who are getting this care, these teens, they say that they are old enough to make the decision. Kay, who was just speaking, he is 19 years or 18 years old, a year out of being able to now in the Alabama law make the decision for himself. But he's saying that if I can go to the Army, if I can make decisions as an adult, and I should be able to figure out the kind of care that I need. I will also say that these families say that there are teams of doctors that work with young people, and that this is a slow process, and that this is really the state of Alabama getting in between a family and the team of doctors that are working with them. But again, supporters of this bill say that it is needed, and their critics say that this is really about election year, that this is politics being played here by the GOP and conservatives in particular, who have largely been the ones passing these bills around the country.
And of course, the major medical organizations stand behind this gender-affirming care, saying how important it is for these teens. Yamiche Alcindor, thanks so much for your reporting. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.